referee umpire stuff I've kind of heard from others, so hopefully I've got it written down right. But Sonny will do that next week so we can ask him to elaborate on it if we need to. Let me stand someplace where everybody can see in front of them. All right, referees and umpires, all clock operators are required to be in the pregame. I think that's kind of a given. Hopefully that's a normal thing, but now they're all required to be in the pregame, especially for the importance of the 40-25. They want that. All right, referees, unless you have some reason to be up by the line of scrimmage, they want you staying back. They want you observing, but they want you to be staying back. Unless you're, a lot of referees will walk up to the line the majority of the time and they go back and get set. They want you to stay back instead of actually going to the line of scrimmage unless you have some reason to be there. All right, in a 7-man crew, the referee will no longer wave the umpire off on free kicks and scrimmage play. On free kicks, the referee is to check the other 5 officials off, and during that time, the umpire needs to do what he needs to do about setting everything up, turn around, and raise his hand. And as soon as the referee gets through checking off the 5, he sees the referee raise his hand, he's going to blow the whistle and go for it. I'm assuming that's probably trying to shave off a couple of seconds off the game each time. In the scheme of things, it's just a few seconds, but that's what the state directors wanted to do. Scrimmage plays, the referees to nod instead of wave off. The umpire over the ball. The umpire's over the ball, they wave it off. They just want you to nod so the umpire can go back.
When the 40-second clock goes, shouldn't the umpire just be putting the ball down and backing out?
Exactly.
Okay.
What's the reasoning for the umpire being over the ball?
I have no clue.
He may not even spot it, the referee may spot it.
That's right.
Yeah, Trey, you're talking about a scrimmage kick. I think we're talking about a scrimmage play now. Okay. Yeah. Well, Don will have more information when we get back. I just want to make sure that everybody had these changes before we start this week. So, yes.
I'll make a point on number 2 as well. From an umpire standpoint, you're going to need help in the spot ball.
Yeah, and that was one of the questions that I had to him, and he says, then you have a reason to be up for the line of scrimmage.
Spotting ball is a reason.
That's correct. Yeah. If it's a normal play and, it's student body to the right, up the guard, up the tackle or something, and it's just spotting, no big deal. Wing guy throws it into the umpire, referee to stay back is around what they're saying. All right, I know we're not crystal clear because I'm not crystal clear about this, but I wanted you guys to know the information, and we'll ask Don to elaborate on it next week. All right, umpires are short wings. This is something they added that they wanted to get. They were doing in multiple parts of the state, but they wanted to make sure everybody. Sorry, Tim, you're going back before I'm walking in front of you. They want the umpire to confirm the mark off of the penalty with the head linesman before they mark it off. Whenever there's a penalty, the head linesman is to walk off the penalty with the umpire, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what to walk off.
They want the umpire to confirm with the head linesman before he marks it off. 5-yard penalty, 10-yard penalty, 15-yard penalty. That was discussed, Sean. That was discussed, the 1, 2, and 3. But they said it may be confused with first down, second down, third. That's all. That's Buck. Don't worry about Buck. All right. Wrap it up. All right. Short wings. Since I was a part of these changes, so I know these are right. 7-man crew, when the ball is snapped from a 5-yard line in, the book tells you to trail the play. That's incorrect. When you're snapped from the 5-yard in, the short wing guy has the goal line, correct? They want us to stay with the play and kind of feel what's going on. If they feel like that the goal line is going to be threatened, we need to go to the goal line. You need to be on the goal line whenever they come across and work your way back, just like we do any other time. That go to the goal line. If it's not threatened, then back up and get your spot. Are we crystal on that one?
Yep.
They want you to be with the play. Goal line's threatened, go to the goal. All right, the second one on the 7-man crew. This is different on a 5-man crew because 5-man crew you have goal to goal, right? Short wings, goal to goal. Get your wheels on. Let's go. Yeah. All right, in the 7-man crew, in the book it says, and we've always had it, the short wing has from the 3 to 3. They're changing it to the 2 to 2. I asked why. One of the main reasons why is that college and professional, the pros all have it at 2. And they said they wanted to be consistent with the college. That also tells me a lot of other things that are about to happen. So they're changing it from the 2 to the 2. So deep wings, if the ball snapped outside the 5, you have the goal line, and the short wings will peel off at the 2-yard line. All right. All right. In district camp and in times that we were in here, we said there were 3 signals that started the 40-second clock. One was arm up, stop the clock, incomplete pass. They added a 4th. When we're close to the out of bounds, the short wings will come in doing this, letting the crew know that it's inbounds, correct? Instead of doing this and then raising your hand, they want this to start the 40. Okay? So still, the only 2 times that we do 2 signals is if it's a first down and they're close to the goal line. Out of bounds. We're rolling it, and then we're stopping it, all right? That's the only time we're doing 2 signals. So they want this to start the 40. So our 40-second clock operators, this will start the 40. This is the end of the play. Okay? Everybody crystal on that one? Okay. In the book, in the manual, 7-man mechanics manual on goal line plays, it says the linesman and line judge, we need to delete the part that says, where it's talking about lining up, where you're going to be when you line up. It says, it says you will line up in the white restricted area, except in tight short yardage, take initial position 10 yards from the widest offensive player. That's to be deleted. They'll get us new manuals, but that's going to be deleted. We are lining up in the box no matter where it is. I don't care if it's 1 yard, it's 4th and goal on the 1, we're lining up in the white box. We're not going to be out on the field. They don't want you out on the field on the 7-man crew. So that's the reason why the change. You good with that one? All right, Donnie, here we go. Everybody across the state is doing it wrong. Is doing the actual the assignment part on whose duties. We talked about it last week.
Yep.
Everybody's doing it wrong. So we all came together Thursday morning, everybody, all the instructors, and we figured out a way to make sure that everybody's across the state and make it simple, and hopefully this is simple. When you receive your assignment, the 7-man crew now, that assignment that you get, like my assignment this week is a head linesman. My assignment, I will do a head linesman during pregame, halftime, and the second half assignment. Pregame, halftime, second half assignment. Okay? So I'm a head linesman. I know in the past, we've gone ahead and flipped prior to, and I would go to a line judge position and do pregame for line judge. That's wrong. We're not doing that anymore. This is where we're gonna do it. So I will still go to, talk to the crew, or talk to the chain crew, do everything that the head linesman does pregame. Line judge, you will still go to the field with the judges and take your positions between the fields. Short wings and deep wings will swap position before breaking the start. So we'll start together, flip-flop, and then take off. And then you'll have that position like I did. So we start up, I'll flip to the side, to the line judge, and I'll work line judge the first half. Short wings will assume the duties of the position they are working in each half. So the short wing, like me, myself, now that I have flipped to a line judge, I'll have the line judge duties for the first half while the game's going on. When the game's over, or when we go to halftime, I'm still doing my head linesman position. And that really means that, the line judge is going to get the teams before the game and actually halftime. Deep wings will maintain the duties they are assigned regardless of the side of field they are on. So if you're a side judge, if you're assigned a side judge and you flip in the star to the field judge position, you are still a side judge, you still have clock duties. What else do y'all do? All that. You're still a side judge. And then when you flip back to the second half, you're still side judge. Everybody, you maintain the duties that you're assigned. You just happen to be on the opposite side of the field. The only exception is during measurements and quarter changes, whoever's closer to the chain crew will do the side judge duties of helping the chain crews get set up properly. Is everybody okay with that? We're all on the same page. I knew you were going to have that. Raise your hand. You said that they were going to maintain their duties. Yeah, that was one of the things.
This makes more sense.
We still are flipping, we're still flipping duties. Short wings, we're still flipping duties, and the deep wings are not. So this is the way we're going to do it throughout the state. This is the way they're expecting us to do it in playoffs. This is the way they're expecting us to do it in the finals. This is the way they're expecting us to do it anytime we have a 7-man crew. We good? Focus points they want us to focus on. Formation fouls. Don't be picky. If they're close, they're on. That's a quote right out of Mark Jones's mouth. If they're close, they're on. We had a lot of guys up at state camp. They were like, they were doing this to the wide receivers and the short wing guy. No, if they're close, they're on. They have to be off to be off. Substitution fouls. There were some that were thrown as live ball fouls. People trying to get off the field after a substitution. They want us to arrow to the side of the dead ball, which I think we already do. I think that's a normal thing that we teach down here, right? Mm-hmm. That's the way I was taught. Kind of arrow to the way of the dead ball. One of the things I was also taught, I didn't bring it up there, but one thing I was also taught that if the guy's coming off the field, if he's within a couple steps of the line, we just kind of step up and let him pass, right? Yeah. Just make sure everybody understood that part. But if you have a guy that's really trying to participate and he's the 12th player, kill it. Let's get a dead ball foul in there. Much easier to explain, much easier to, just looks like a cleaner game that way. Okay? I think this is understood. We kind of beat this horse to death so far. Referee shall not run a play without a box set and ready. Because one, we need to make sure the down is right on the box, and hopefully that box guy is quick enough to get down there for you. But if wing guys, if the coaches are pounding you about trying to run a play, what is it, NASCAR? Is that what they call it? We can't run a play without the box set. If he has a problem with it and it's not one of our guys, he needs to get us another box guy. If it is not set, by the time that the play clock gets to 25, he wants us to reset the play clock. I think that's the norm, right? Isn't that what we normally talk about already? The play clock should not be reset due to ball boys and chains not being set. One of the mechanics that was added this year for short wings is having a bean bag to give to your box guy if the chains are dragging and first down is played. Now he's moving on to the second down. He has a bean bag to drop wherever he was so he can set the chains properly. I think that's going to be a fuck to myself. So as long as you have a good pregame with your chain crew, I don't think that should happen. And of course, head linesman to supply a bean bag to the box to drop the chains are set. He was very adamant about the ball boys, y'all. He was very adamant about the ball boys. If the coaches want to continue to use ball boys, then we are not to stop the play clock. He actually referenced, because of your opinion. It was very well written and very good information to the coaches. I don't know how he got a copy, unless one of the coaches sent it to him. But he was perfectly fine with it. So we won't stop the clock. So, error. We want to try to convince the coach to err on the side of letting us get the balls in, because if there's an issue, then the referee can reset to 25 and we can roll. That's it. Do you have any questions? No. Probably next year we're going to be doing that. He talked a lot about college mechanic, trying to get to the college mechanic, not the college mechanic, getting to the college mechanic. And that's kind of where I think he's going with that. There's going to be some bad stuff that we don't get to. Does anybody have any questions about anything I've told y'all before we go into training moment? Anything? I'm not going to go over that today. I think I've done all the travel information I want to get. You're up, Mr. Tim. Thank you.
Guys, this week in our training, we're talking about mechanics, signals, and keys. Of course, each breakout session will be different because, my keys are different than, a short wing or deep wing. But, what I want to talk about is that we all have things to do pre-snap. And it's important and incumbent upon us to do those things, whether it be count the players. I mean, with this, with the pace of these offenses that we see, it's critical that we make sure that we have the right number of people on the line. We have the right number of people on the field. Of course, we have to keep in mind that, with the new formation rule, it's not as critical that they have 11 on the field, other than we need to know that they have 11 on the field. So we need to make sure that that each official counts and gives a signal. There are certain mechanics that you guys have been talking about in your breakout sessions, and you're going to be talking about it again tonight about how we do certain things. Whether it be as referees, some referees get on the throwing hand of the quarterback, some get to the wide side of the field, some do different stuff. But each of us has a certain position that we need to be. But let's make sure that we always use the signals that the mechanics book requires us to do, whether it be out of bounds or wind the clock or incomplete pass or whatever we have. We use those signals. Covered up receivers, another one that we use. So let's make sure that we use those signals for sure. And that should be across the board in every crew. From a key standpoint, I'm not going to spend a lot of time here other than, you need to know what your keys are. If you're a deep wing, you need to know that what you have. I think you have the widest receiver, I think is the right one. And then, the back judge has the next person, so forth and so on. But as a wing guy, you need to know, well, what's the formation, and do I have you know, do I have the, you know, if I've got a wide person in my field, my side of the field, and the deep wing has that one, what's the next one in if the back judge is always the back judge on my side or your side? I'm sure there's some, something you guys use as deep three to know that, but make sure that you get that out of your meeting. So, make sure that if you have any questions about it before you leave, we're starting Friday night. Let's make sure that you talk to your instructor and make sure that everybody's on the same page. Referees, make sure you have a good pregame this week and cover keys and mechanics and signals and stuff like that. And shoot.
You, Tim. Before we break for training, make sure that if you need to be checked off, you need to see Mayhall or Rembert. Tony is not here, so one of the two, so they can check you off. And then Thursday and Friday night will be checked off kind of by the referees.